channel. I am Michelle Gilroy and I'm the off-duty furniture flipper. I'm so glad to have you here today. I am here to show you how to furniture flip a piece like this one that I found on Facebook Marketplace. I got it for free actually. It was in really great condition, but one of the kids had taken a crayon to it, so it needed quite a bit of sanding. And sometimes you can find pieces like that on Facebook Marketplace and on the side of the road, etc. Maybe a friend will gift it to you, I don't know. But sometimes you can get furniture for free to furniture flip and it just increases your profit. And it's great to save something like this from the landfill, from the garbage, and causing more and more problems in the landfill. So this is what I do when I'm not at work nursing. I am furniture flipping, staying at home, trying to keep out of trouble and have a release for some of my creativity and passion for design and furniture. So this one here, as you can see, it's kind of got a rustic farmhouse vibe to it, look to it, and there's little notches here that I think are quite interesting, as well as the big chunky legs. My mom actually had a piece like this back in the 90s. It was her first real piece of new furniture, and she was really excited about it back then. And so when I saw it, I was really excited to redo it and see what I could do with this piece of furniture. Unfortunately, I have not found the matching end table yet, but sometimes it does come up on Facebook or Kijiji, and when it does, I will be redoing that one as well to match and try and sell it as a set, because you get more of a profit that way. So let's get started on the cleaning of this piece. I've already sanded the top down to the bare wood. To do that, you go with a lower grit sandpaper, usually about 80 to 100 grit, to take down the finish as well as the stain, and then finish off with something finer so that you get a nice smooth finish. Start at 220 and then move up all the way to 400, and it will feel nice and smooth and ready for when you go to put on your final paint finish. So let's get going on this, and welcome back again. Hit like or subscribe and see more videos like this. So to do this first, we're gonna start with a cleaning of it. I've got my container of Dawn dish soap and warm water. You could also use any TSB alternative solution and water. It is to degrease, which is what you need to do for the paint to stick really well as disinfect. And then afterwards, you're going to rinse with any container, preferably one that you've gotten for free like me, and you're going to rinse it with a container of warm water, and just tap water, nothing special. And then after that, I'm going to scuff sand this piece so that I'm ready to paint. This is already to be refinished, as I said, because it has already been sanded down. So we're done with the cleaning. We are on to the next step, which is the scuff sanding. I'm using 180 grit sandpaper today just because I don't have the 220 with me, and I'm gonna go over just to rough up this shiny surface so that the primer sticks to this surface really well and grabs on and makes this furniture piece last a really long time. So this step is really important. It's one that you can't skip, as well as the cleaning, for obvious reasons. And so we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna start to sand it down a little bit. So as you can see here, anyone can do this. You don't need a special tool to do it. And especially when it's just a small piece like this and you're just learning and starting out, using just a piece of sandpaper like this is fine. You can also use a sanding sponge. That also works well with the round legs like this. And with the top, you can buy things in your hardware store so that you're just going back and forth over the area. But again, you can just use this piece of sandpaper like this. You do not need a sander to refinish something this small. So this is a great place to start so that you can see whether or not you want to continue on doing pieces like this, do your own furniture pieces, or just an occasional end table once in a while. So we're on to the finishing of the top of the piece. I think I'm going to do that first because it's a little bit runnier, as I'm going to be doing a whitewash on top just to lighten that wood up. And then I will put a top coat over top of that. So today what I'm going to do for the whitewash is the Fusion, as you can see, it's hard, it's an old can, but it's still good. It's the Fusion Mineral Paint, and it is in Picket Fence. And so I'm going to start mixing the whitewash together. As you can see, I've put a piece of clear saran wrap in between the lid and the jar, and this is so that I can open it and close it quite easily, and it provides that separation that you need so that it doesn't fuse all together. So as you can see here, I've poured in the Picket Fence, and I'm using just a tablespoon of that, and then I'm going to add the water, and it will be a 50-50 ratio. So 1 tablespoon of water is going into this mixture, and then I'm going to stir it around and start the whitewash. So as you can see here, we've got the clean, stripped down finish of this, but it's a little bit more yellow than what I like. So I'm going to add this whitewash on, and this is just with a little chip brush. You can get them cheap from anywhere, the dollar store, Michael's, with a 30% off coupon, or your local hardware store. Wherever you find them, they're pretty cheap. Probably the cheapest brush that you can find. And so since you're not really worried about the finish this time and the final product staying on, because you're going to wipe it right back off, so it doesn't matter if it is the best brush in town. So after painting it all, I took it right back off with a lint-free cloth that I had. I cut up an old sweatshirt and used it as a rag, and I began the process of taking off that whitewash. This is so that it's more like a stain rather than an opaque paint finish. we're on to the next step, which is adding the primer to this base. Today I'm using Fresh Start Multi-Purpose Latex Primer by Benjamin Moore in white. It is for interior only, not exterior. And what I like to do first prior to putting on any primer is to spray down my piece with clear water from a spray bottle that I got from Dollarama. And so I like to do that just so that it's a nice thin layer that I put on first. And this is to prevent too much texture from the primer and the different layers of paint. On to the next step with Fusion Mineral Paints Picket Fence White. After I put on the 2 coats of primer by Benjamin Moore on the bottom base floor layer, I really liked the color and the brightness of it all. And so I wanted to continue on with that rather than what I had originally chosen, which was more like a scrub green to the bottom layer. And so there it is in the can there, and it is bright and it is white. And I shook it up and stirred it well prior to applying this paint. It's important to make sure that everything's mixed thoroughly through, because you don't want chunks in the bottom coming up to the surface when you're in the middle of painting something. And so I've started to apply it with my Richard brush that I got from Habitat for Humanity. It was new, but at a very discounted, reasonable price. And it is a great brush. There is no shedding of any of the fibers onto my paint. And as well, it provides a really nice, smooth finish. So we'll be doing the top coat today with Fusion Mineral Paints top coat in a matte finish, and that is my free container that I will be pouring that into. I like to not shake up the container of top coat. I will tip it back and forth, top to bottom, just to mix everything through. But also I don't want a bunch of bubbles in, so I would never shake that all the way through. And I apply that top coat with, as you can see there, my sponge inside of a nylon that I got from Dollarama. And I apply that way because I don't want a bunch of bubbles on top of my piece. It makes it nice and smooth, and so it doesn't add a lot of texture to the top of it. And so it doesn't require too much sanding between the 2 layers of top coat. This is one of my antique brass knobs that I got for free off of a previous dresser, and to that I applied Barkeeper's Friend with warm water and scrubbed it clean with a toothbrush. And this is how it turned out, because it's solid brass and it is beautiful. And so then I applied Crazy Glue that I got from Dollarama for $4 and applied a semi-precious stone that I got for 70% off from Michael's. It's time for the big reveal on this little end table that I got for free from someone. I just want to say thank you. It was great redoing a table that looks so similar to what my mom had. It is a great starter project for anyone that is just starting out. Check out the new life and the new legs on this 1990s refurb. Bye everyone. Thank you for watching. I'm Michelle Gilroy and this is Off Duty Furniture Flipping.